We rolling. Welcome back. Welcome back. What's going on, Kinfolk? Welcome back to the Key to the City podcast. It's your Kinfolk Yoni. I appreciate y'all coming back. I hope you missed me because I sure enough miss y'all, man. I've been in Facebook jail, but I'm free. I'm out on bail, on parole. I don't plan on going back, man, because then I can't talk to y'all. I can't reach y'all. And I've been in jail so much, they've got me on 30-day bids each and every time. So I'm gonna behave this time, but I appreciate everybody that's been supporting the podcast, liking, sharing, comment, whatever you've been doing to spread word about it. I appreciate it. You didn't have to do it, but you did. And just like the previous weeks, and as this week, we're gonna keep hitting you in your head with quality content. I want to thank my last guest in episode 23. We had the Queen Stephanie Luckett on the show. She just released her debut album. I definitely want y'all to go check that out on all streaming platforms. The girl can sing. And I ain't even flogging on that. Go check it out, please. And this week is no different. We got another black queen on the show, and with everything that's going on in the world, sometimes you need a little spoken word in your life, Some, and if you know anything about spoken word artists and poets, they dig a little deeper than us regular folks. They go beyond the surface and can hit us with these words. And I came across this young lady. She's definitely one of Houston's top creatives. And we just want to find out more about her. She's an actress, model, poet, singer, writer, mechanic, athletic dancer, whatever you want. She's a queen of it all. She do it all. But no, for real though, she has been writing since she was 8. She's a 3-time national slam poet. That's right. She has 3 poetic albums that's on iTunes. Y'all need to check them out. They go by Destiny, A Poet, and Momentum. The last one I listened to was Momentum. That thing jamming. We're gonna find out more about it because when she was talking about drinking that milk, I want to know where she got the inspiration from. And she's also the author of The Life of Shami, which I thought it was The Life of Shame, but she gonna put us on game why it's called that, and much more, much more. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the city, Miss Inertia Justice. What's going on, Queen?
Man, it's all going on all the time. It's always going on.
Yeah, you like that introduction?
I love it. I love it. I think I do a little engineering on the side, auto
Mm-hmm.
mechanic. I change my own oil. Does that count?
What? Stop lying.
I do it.
Oh
I do it.
man. Yeah, you definitely
I wish I was a scout. I could do the.
right,
That's the
right,
one
right.
thing that's not on the resume.
Man, I can't even change my own woman. So you definitely on top of that. So man, so glad you're on the show. So glad you took time out of your day to join me. And I'm really interested in finding out more about you and introducing you to my audience, my kin folks in the city. And we just want to give you your flowers while we have the opportunity, while you can smell them. So
I
let's
appreciate that.
first, oh, no doubt. I know you're a woman of many facets. Let's first get into a little bit about your background, where you're from, where you go to school, who your folk is.
I'm actually a native Houstonian, born and
Okay.
raised.
H.
Yeah, on that north side. On
All
that
right.
north
All right.
side. Yeah,
45.
I grew up. Yeah, I grew up and went to school out in Atlanta, Clark,
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta, and then I came back home to that mighty, mighty TSU
Okay.
and
That's what's
finished
up.
up. Yeah, yeah.
What was your
That's
major
it.
at TSU?
I did a I did a bachelor's degree in communications, public relations, and I did a
Mm.
master's degree in sociology.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So
yeah.
communications, I'm figuring that was just a natural route to take with your passion for writing,
It
speaking.
really was. Yeah, it really was. I started writing at 8, and what really got me into writing poetry was, of course, Langston Hughes was the first poet I ever read.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just fascinated by the fact that you could condense an entire situation into a couple of stanzas. You could cover a whole person's life in
Mm-hmm.
3 stanzas. And I was just like, man, that's power. That's power.
Indeed.
And so I wanted to do that. And I took it just a little step further. Is every time I say a poem, I want it to be time travel for myself, but I
Mm-hmm.
want it to be a movie screen for you so that you can see everything like you were right there in the room when it happened. And
Very vivid.
so yeah, and so communications, of course, was like like when you get into college, like your core classes will have a communicate intro to communication, and then
Mm-hmm.
all the other things, and it just stuck with me. Unless there's feedback, communication has not occurred, right?
Facts.
And
Facts.
so that stuck with me. And to this day, when I'm on stage, if I don't get feedback, communication has not happened. I have not driven home my point. And so I fight
Mm-hmm.
and write to communicate every time I'm in front of people.
That's deep. Communication is a two-way street.
Yeah.
Uh, so you've been writing since the age of 8.
Hmm.
What type of
Yeah.
writing we talking about though?
Well,
We
it
write
started out, it started out Roses are red,
ABC.
violets are blue,
Oh, okay. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then we progressed, to
Right.
cat, bed, and sat. I mean,
Right.
yeah,
And,
levels
and
to this thing. It's levels, levels.
well, what level was it, or what age was it when you recognized I got a serious gift, and I might need to take it seriously, do something with it?
And it really wasn't even me.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of my fourth grade teachers. We were doing our school song, and it was lame. Like it was really lame. And I was like, this doesn't even make sense, And so I rewrote it.
Mm-hmm.
Literally rewrote it. And I was saying it in my head as we were supposed to all be saying it as a group.
Right.
And my teacher was like, and I'm over there, I'm feeling myself because I'm like, that landed.
You
That
lit. Yeah.
landed, so I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, and so my teacher is like, what is going on? This song is not that exciting, thinking I'm talking to somebody off to the side or whatever. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I just like my words better, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, what do you mean? So I told him what my words were. I'm thinking I'm gonna get in trouble,
Right.
expelled, suspended, something.
Right.
And he took him to the principal. I'm sitting in the principal's office, and I'm like, man, my mama is gonna beat me. She gonna beat me. And so he came out and he was like, can you perform that song at our award ceremony?
There it is.
And there you go.
Mm.
And there you go. I've been thirsty for that stage ever since.
So did it lead to more poetry from that point, or more songwriting?
It was, it really was a combination of both. But since
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have the patience for instruments,
Right.
yeah, it just became poetry because all of my friends that did have inclinations for instruments, they were always so busy, they had their own productions. There's
Mm-hmm.
nothing like a young artist. There is nothing like a young artist, especially when they really are honed into their gift. They're not gonna let you derail them or hold
And they
them up
hungry.
or nothing.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I would be like, man, I wrote these words. Can you just put it to the song? I'm writing something already. I'm already writing something.
Yeah, I'm in my zone.
Yeah. So it just
Now I hear a
became
lot
poetry.
about this national slam poet competition.
Mhm.
Um, you are a three-time champion. Um,
Well, I
what,
participated in 3 nationals.
oh, you
So it's
participated in three nationals. But
Yeah.
still, that's a
So
that's a
it's an accomplishment to get on a team. But yeah, for you to escalate through that, there's hundreds of artists around the US and Hawaii and all the Virgin Isles up there for the title. So yeah, it's pretty deep.
so how
Pretty
does
deep.
that start? How does one get into like that whole? You have to audition, submit material.
Yeah, well, so like there's poetry spots around the city. Like most major cities have poetry clubs, and so they'll
Mhm.
have slam season. So you go and you compete with your local group, and then they choose five of the best ones out of the local group.
Mm.
So out of the local group, you got those fives that go to the national competition that competes against all the other cities' top five. So
Is
yeah.
it like a Def Jam poetry?
Now, yeah, lots of
Okay.
people they do pay to come and see. Now, if you're familiar with Power,
Mm-hmm.
Amari
Mm-hmm.
was a slam poet, and
I can see him doing that.
he actually won nationals the first year I went.
Okay.
Yeah, he won the whole national over everybody. He won
Cause he get deep over little stuff, man. All his posts be deep. It don't matter
Yeah,
what it is. He get
yeah,
deep about
he's a
breakfast, anything.
cool guy.
Yeah, he seemed like it, man. Uh, so what do you enjoy most? You got the writing down pat. I just feel
Hmm.
like you a ball of energy that just needs to be expressed in every way, shape. Uh, but you also an actress.
Yeah, yeah.
How did
So
that come about?
I do. I do all of these things, like you say, because I do have so many creative ideas going on at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I started acting right after. Let me see. Did I start acting after? I think I started acting after modeling.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because I just decided. I said I am about to be a model. And so I put my head to it and started figuring that out. And I was like, you know what? I think I want to be an actress. So I'm a poet and I'm a slam poet. So the difference in poets, there's literary poets and they can cross. A literary poet can be a slam poet can be a literary poet, but they're kind of like two veins. So the
Okay.
literary poetry is kind of just the written kind that's in books and it goes they're much longer,
Mhm.
whereas slam poets all the material have to be condensed into 3 minutes performed. Okay. So for somebody that's giving you a score, you have to really bring to life that poem on stage. And so I was like, if I can bring to life a poem on stage, I certainly can bring to life someone's script. And
Mm.
so from the script and seeing how scripts were written, I was like, I think I want to write a book.
Damn.
And so and so the
Mhm.
life of Shami came up out of that. And so because I saw it going to stage play and to the movie screen, and I'm still in the process of that. I'm talking to some people right now about converting the book to a screenplay or a stage play first and then screenplay.
Man, I can learn so much from you. We're gonna have to link up
Yeah.
because you've been
Yeah,
doing it tough.
definitely.
What is the life of Shami about?
Okay,
Is it based on
so
fiction or nonfiction?
it is what they call a fictional novel, right? And
Okay.
so it's fictional in that, the characters are made up, but of course the situations are very probable. And so for them to be probable, they come from bits and pieces of people that I've met and scenes that I've been in. The whole passion behind the life of Shami was basically to start a conversation
Mm-hmm.
that we're having but not having. Especially when I first started writing it, uh, people were on the fence about how they felt about same-sex marriage, things like that. And so the book opens the conversation and it gives a vantage point of both sides of the story in an articulate conversation, not with
Mm.
the hating and the bashing. and each side being able to prove a point or to make their point, I should say. And so
Okay.
the girl in the middle is Shami. And of course, as everybody sees her name, they say shame. So,
It
and
sure had me.
so, yeah. So when they see her name, they say shame. And then when she presents, a lot of people say shame,
Mm,
but she is showing me. I'm showing me. So it's Shami.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, heavy. I dig it. And
Yeah.
I definitely need to check out the book. I do like to read myself. And I was
Yeah.
browsing some of the reviews. It was well received.
Yeah.
So definitely something you should be proud of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Appreciate
definitely got
it.
to check that out. And not to stray too far, but just to hop back on the poet side a little bit.
Yeah.
You were the first Houston artist to release a poetical.
See, yeah.
See, you think I did my research, you know?
Boy, you pulling it. This man has done his homework, man. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Yes. Yes.
and for
Interviewer
those
of
of
the
y'all that don't
year.
know, think of a your favorite musical CD that you can vibe to, but it's spoken word, still with the background of a beat or some type of musical sounds, instruments. It's deep, deep, deep. She released 3 projects like that: A Poet, Destiny, and Momentum.
Yeah.
Just tell me what inspired you to come up with that concept.
Well, I want to say I was listening to, what was I? Oh. So I was listening to some music and I
Mm,
started to write I started to write this poem. And the cadence, I don't like to be compared to a rapper. I feel like that's a completely different skill set. But music does inspire me a lot. And I wrote the poem and I was like, you know what? If they could hear the music that inspired this poem, it would drive the point
mm,
home even better.
mm,
And so I remember telling my brother that I was going to do it. I said, I'm going to do a CD that has my poetry with music in the back. And he
mm,
was like, ain't nobody going to buy that. And Jill Scott came out with her first album. And I was like, Jill, that's what
mm.
I was, that's what I was doing.
Jill Scott.
Yep. Who is Jill Scott?
Mm-hmm.
And after
And
that, it
hold
was
on,
no stopping me.
let me pause you right there because you already know. I'm sure you get compared to her a lot.
Yes.
Just your vibe, your aura, the way you come off. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so
Uh,
I was just, so you have to know, as soon as she came out, just like you guys may do the comparison, I did as well. I love this lady so much because like I feel like we are twin spirits, a lot of times. And so her entire album spoke to me and I was just like, man, I would have had to jump on this. I'd have had to jump on this, you know.
uh,
And so I definitely will be talking about that later. But yeah, so I thought about it and I have, like I told you, you know how collective creatives are. We
yeah.
hang,
Hmm.
you hang with a visual artist or graphic designer, you hang with DJs, you hang with musicians, singers, we just kind of hang. And so I had homeboys that had studios. And I was like,
Mm.
yeah, I want to get in the studio. And they was like, all right, what you trying to do? And I was like, I don't know, man. I want to mix this instrumental with
Hmm.
my poem. And they were just like, okay. And so I got in there and I was trash. Okay. I was
Yeah,
trash.
yeah.
Trash. And so, because I'm going in there like when I'm on the stage,
Mhm.
what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Garbage. Garbage. And so they were just like, listen, when you are behind this mic, you are going to have to show. I know you have breath control because you have to get to the end of sentences, but you're going to have to get control of that wind, because you just beating this mic up, And so I was like, okay. And so just working with them and just, just being with creatives that like new and different. They just pushed me and they drove me. And they would like, I have several studios, several producers that I worked with, and they would call me, Inertia, when you finna do the next album? I'm like, oh, I hadn't thought about that. Let's do it.
Yeah. Because it's been 2 years, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So you already know I got to ask, what inspired the milk one?
Oh boy, that infamous milk.
That's my favorite one.
And I'm telling you, you are in good company. You are in great company. There are lots of listeners that have come back to me with that one. So milk was just fun, right? Because I think they were just starting to push the milk campaign with the mustache, and a lot of my earlier work was more erotica.
Okay.
So if you can believe it or not, Momentum was the very, very first album that I did, like straight out the box, had no idea of what I was doing, just in the studio. And I was like, put the milk splashing in the background. Wow. Now it makes me cringe. I'm like, dang it, why did I put that milk back there? But you know how you grow.
Right.
So milk does a body good, right? And I just started thinking, I said, now how can I just really twist this thing in somebody's head to where they just like, whoa, I didn't see that coming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not literally. No, okay. Listen, this is a family show.
No fun.
It's a family show. This is a family show. We're gonna keep it above the belt.
No pun.
So yeah. So yeah, I was like, I really want to test my skill with that. I really want to see how many words I can freak like that. Like how many puns can I just completely twist around and just have people's minds searching like, did she say that? Is that what that meant? Because a lot of people ask me at the end, wait a minute, this was about a particular act, right? I said it was about milk, man. This was about milk. You need to be healthy. You know what I'm saying? Because I have to admit, as a lover of music, I got that from my dad. And my dad was always playing music in the house. And so, of course, the Isley brothers, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And so you sitting there, you grooving, you vibing. 10 years later, you like, oh, he nasty.
I ain't lying, yeah.
You been vibing. You ain't know what you was saying.
Right.
Parents get mad at you because you saying words to the song. You like,
right.
Because you don't have no concept of what it is, And I always thought that was dope about being able to convey messages to certain audiences, even though everybody is sitting in the same room. Some people are getting it. Some people aren't. Some people aren't. And the people that aren't getting it don't need to get it.
Fact. Yeah, they ain't ready for it.
Yeah. But they're getting something though. They're getting something. You're learning some very, nice words about osteoporosis, very it's very educational about biology and how the bones are structured. I mean, yeah.
But y'all definitely need to check that one out, man. And they drinking milk to the last drop on that track. Key to the City podcast. We got the Queen Inertia Justice here with us. A few more questions for you. Have you been inspired to write? And you probably already have. Based on all the turmoil that's going on in the country right now, and the civil unrest and the same old story of blacks and police. Has it inspired you to do any projects or material?
I wrote a poem that's called Into the Bullets.
Mm.
And it is so heady, and so spiritual that it's it's ahead of me. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I have some poems that I wrote and I performed on a couple of the CDs that I'm just now feeling like I'm talented enough to perform live.
Okay.
Um, and Into the Bullets, I performed it one night here in the city, and it was recorded. It's long, it's so passionate, and it makes me cry before I get to the end. And
Hmm.
so I haven't I haven't been able to perform the stuff that I've written because it's so present. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's so present and it's so real. Um, I know that there's poems that I wrote during the Bush era that are still relevant today. I
Hmm.
try to write that my work transcends eras. You know what I mean? That just like Milk, I wrote Milk probably in 2001.
Wow.
And yeah, probably in 2001. And to this day, it still gets to the people because I try to write so that it's a vibe. It's a vibe that you can live in no matter where you at. And so I'm pretty sure once I'm able to do Into the Bullets again, man, yeah. That one there. That
Where
one
can I
there.
is it? Where can I access that one?
Um, I want to say the only way to access that is her name is, I want to say, Queen Ashe, and
Hmm.
she recorded it for her set. It
Okay.
was her show. I showed up. She recorded
Mm.
my entire set. So, and she left it whole, like she didn't chop it or nothing.
Wow.
I was like, girl, people sick of me. Turn it off. Turn it off.
Mm-mm.
Turn it off. But
Yeah,
yeah, so
I definitely gonna check
I'll
that
shoot
out.
that to you if you're interested. Yeah, I'll shoot it to you if you're interested.
Hell yeah. And
Yeah.
also, so we've been speaking about acting, poetry, singing. You got a podcast as well.
Yeah.
The podcast is called Neighborhood. Uh, I'm
Yeah.
telling you, she does it all. Tell us more about the Neighborhood podcast, what it's about, how can we access it and support
Yeah. So the neighborhood with Inertia Justice is definitely on every podcasting platform. It kind of really just took off. I've only been doing it for 3 months, 2 to 3 months,
you?
and we are in season two. It's basically one of those conversations that I want to have with people that may have grew up but wasn't necessarily raised. So there's
Mm,
certain nuances about being a whole healthy human being that kind of slip through the cracks.
mm, mm.
And even for people that, not that, their parents weren't trying their best try, just that certain things, man, certain things just get missed.
Right.
So I focus on minding our own business. That's
Mm,
it. And so it's the business of you. You got to get what you need. There's so many
fact.
people out here. Well, my mama didn't teach me. My daddy didn't teach me. I didn't grow up with. You know what I'm saying? So it's always these reasons why I couldn't do it. This ain't happen. I don't know. So minding
Mm-hmm.
your own business means that, okay, it's on you now. You're a grown person. You need to
Right.
know how to take care of your emotions. You need to learn how to manage your friend circle. Everybody ain't your friend. You need to learn how
Mm-hmm.
to make sure you're checking in with yourself, that you're being authentic with who you want to be and not who everybody else is telling you to be, you know?
Yes, Lord.
And so, yeah, so it's minding your own business right now. The first season was just that, just kind of that self check. Where
Mm-hmm.
am I?
Mm-hmm.
Who am I? What am I trying to be? You know, and so season two, now we're branching out to the people that are around us, you know, how they're impacting our lives, our kids, our spouses, our friends, our self-talk and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so after that, we're gonna do finances, you know. So it
Okay.
really is minding your own business from start to finish type of series that I'm working with. Yeah.
All right. I love it. And I definitely want to be a
Yeah.
guest. So
I got you.
definitely reach out. Let's link up. Um, which I'm gonna be in touch with you anyway because I
Yeah.
need to I need to be on the scene. I need to know the who's and where's,
Yeah, yeah. And I definitely want to have you on there because as we were talking before, you know, we came on tonight, you know, about this passion that it
Mm-hmm.
takes to put yourself into a creative space. It's
Mm-hmm.
not to be taken lightly, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me a while to give myself permission to be an artist, you know, because the world will tell you that, oh, you wasting your time. You know, you don't need to do that. You need to get a real job. You need to da 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 this, da da da
What?
da. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You hear that from the world. And so it's a certain thing, you know, that happens. We have like this desire in our heart, you know, and that
Mm-hmm.
desire in your heart has to be satisfied. You have to, by the
Mm-hmm.
time you get ready to get off of here, you need to have satisfied that desire in your heart. And for artists, it's hard because we got people telling us we're not valuable in the beginning. In the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
get a real job. Blah blah blah. When you Will Smith and you Oprah, that girl good. That boy good. Man, I
Right.
remember them from back in the day. It's
Mm-hmm.
like
You
these
preach.
same people was telling them, get a job. You need to get out of this. So you have to satisfy that thing in your heart. Man, and when
Mm-hmm.
they find you, when you catch fire, you know what I mean? When you
Right.
catch fire, they got all this content that you've created. They got all these people that you have touched and have been a part of their creative process. You know, you ask me, you
Mm-hmm.
say, why you excited about being in here with little old me?
Yeah.
Because we are. You
Mm-hmm.
get it? We
Right.
are.
Mm-hmm.
If it's not me, if it's not you, then who is it?
You preach.
Who? Who is going to give us our platforms? Who is going to
Right.
allow us to express our talents, to get out and be what desire is in our heart?
Mm-hmm.
Who is going to do that? So I appreciate you, and I'm super excited to be here. I'm excited about everything that I know I'm going to see you do. When you catch fire, just say, you know what? My girl Inertia said I was gonna catch fire.
Oh, you already know,
Just tell them that. Inertia said I was gonna catch fire, man. She
man.
spoke that over me. She spoke
You,
that over me.
you just put a battery in my back. I swear you just did. I'm charged up. Oh,
Hey, let me tell you something. Iron sharpens
mm.
iron, homeboy. Iron sharpens iron.
Man, I appreciate that. You a
Yeah.
motivational speaker as well?
Yeah, I'm working on that.
Ain't
Putting the
nothing you
business
don't do.
plan together as we speak. I'm putting that business plan
Wow.
together.
I see it all over you, man. All over you.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
what does
appreciate it.
not to look too far in the future, but what does
Yeah.
the remainder of the year and 2021 hold for you? What are some of your goals?
Man, I told myself that by the end of this year, I will have secured the neighborhood as a viable platform for commercial support. that I have brought myself to the place where my modeling will be substantial. You know, I got a couple of friends that are retailers, and I'm forcing my way.
Right.
I'm
Okay.
forcing my way, you know what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
into being that representation, you know. So so I look to see 2021 start out with a bang. I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm gonna tell you this because it came on me to tell you this. Now,
Okay.
I
I'm
don't
ready
know if
for
you're into that, but
it. Yep, I am.
at the beginning of this year, I was told that I was gonna be prosperous. In my ear was a word that said, "I will prosper you this year."
Mm.
COVID hit, and I was like,
Why? What happened to my word?
when I tell you my word has not failed,
Mm.
you feel me?
In
Now
spite of what's going on.
he done put it in me to tell you
Okay.
the fire is coming. And when you
Mm.
keep doing what you're doing. Keep sharing the love, keep being that platform, keep lifting up, and you will be lifted. That's what
Mm.
I got. That's what I got for you. I
I'll be
wasn't
back. I'm
trying
about
to
to
do
go cry right quick. Man, you just gave me that word. I appreciate it.
Man, let me tell you something. I didn't come on here to do that. I ain't
Yeah.
coming here to do that. I ain't coming here to do that. So that lets you
I'm,
know I ain't coming here to do it. But that's yours. That's
I'm gonna
yours.
just say it's divine intervention, and I'm gonna accept it and claim it. I sure appreciate
Yes,
that.
sir. Yes,
I
sir.
appreciate that. How can my audience keep up with you from this point on? How can they follow you, support you in all your endeavors?
Man, it's www.inertiajustice.com.
Mm-hmm.
It's Inertia Justice on every platform known to man. I'm about
Okay.
this grind. I'm about it.
I heard that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like I said at the beginning, I'm thankful that you joined me, man. The conversation was so smooth. I feel like I've been knowing you forever. And I just want to applaud you and continue to encourage you on your journey. Don't
Appreciate it.
stop, which I know you won't. And
Yeah.
I really do want to link up. So I will be in touch with you after this. And
Yeah.
I just want to, continue to see you grow. And I want you to, I want to help each other in our progress and our journeys. Um, so yeah, man, we thank you. We support you here at Key to the City. Any
Yes.
final words for my audience?
Man, listen, in this world, there's a
Mm-hmm.
whole bunch of people, but it's
Mm.
just one you. So take
Mm-hmm.
care of yourself. Love yourself first.
Amen.
And I love you more.
Amen. And we love you right back, Queen. Key to the City podcast. I'm your host, Yoni. She is the Queen of Inertia Justice. This is Key to the City. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Peace and blessings. Y'all be safe out there. Thank you, Queen.
All right,
Peace.
appreciate it. Peace.
All right.